Hi guys and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with AC Milan. We're obviously coming off that disappointing episode last time, going out the cup to Roma and then losing at the Juventus Stadium. Despite a really good positive performance, we ultimately get turned over sadly by the champions, who now sit a place above us in the league table. And that ended a really good streak of undefeated results for us. It stretched all the way back to Halloween. But sadly, obviously, that is now lost, so we have to refresh, bounce back and go again. We're at home to Sassuolo today. Juventus are away at Fiorentina, so that's two sides above us playing. Hopefully there can be some points dropped there, probably for Juve. I'd probably like Fiorentina to win. I fancy my chances in outlasting Fiorentina more than a resurgent Juve. So I'd like Fiorentina to bring Juve back down to earth, but I fear that that win over us will just galvanise Juventus and they'll have too much for Fiorentina today. But we're focusing on our own game, of course. 3 wins and 1 loss is our record against Sassuolo so far during our tenure here. Sassuolo sitting in 8th position, ourselves in 6th there. We are 5 points ahead of Sassuolo. We're actually even with Juventus. We're 3 points behind Fiorentina, 3 behind Roma. We're 5 points behind Napoli. Of course, we have the game in hand over them. And we are a massive 8 points behind Lazio actually, but obviously again the game in hand will bring that hopefully back down to 5, so a really tight title race. And without further ado, let's get to the team selection. Unfortunately, as you can see, David Calabria can't play today through suspension. So we're going to have to look at somebody else out on that right hand side. Sane unfortunately still injured as well. On the right hand side I think we're going to go with Andrea Conte. Calabria obviously off there. In terms of the rest of the team, I'm pretty confident in just going with what we have already. We've got Donnarumma, Conte, Bonucci, Romagnoli, Barreca, Locatelli, Kessie, Biglia, Chiesa, Çalhanoğlu and Silva. So we're just going to go with that the same way that we always play. And hopefully we can turn over Sassuolo. Having a pretty good season actually, Sassuolo away up in 8th, pretty lofty for them. So let's hope we can go out and give a good performance. As I say, we played well against Juventus. I was pleased with how the team actually done at the Juventus Stadium, but kind of like last year, we went there, we gave a good account of ourselves, we missed too many chances, and we ultimately ended up paying the price and getting beat. But we're going again now. League is by no means over, no means out of our reach. We're even with Juventus now. So hopefully we can motor on from here. We've played Juve twice, we don't need to deal with them again, thankfully. But we do need to win our other games. Toiling here at home to Sassuolo. Çalhanoğlu lining up the free kick. Over the wall, wide and over. And Douglas Costa has Juventus ahead in Florence against Fiorentina. Inter are 2 up against Spezia actually. I don't know how they still managed to have Icardi. They're having a really poor season. You would imagine Icardi would have been away in January, especially since he tends to go to the Premier League quite early a lot. Çalhanoğlu in towards Bonucci, cleared away by Duncan, picked up by Kessie, hammers it off the post, and it's cleared, and it looks like it's going to be a frustrating first half. 0-0. Bongonda has actually scored again for Inter, and they're 3-0 up in their game. The away side's doing well today, including Sassuolo, sadly. Far from pleased, had to put the team on blast for that one. They've been really, really poor. And I kind of don't know what to do. I think what we're going to do, a variation of what we'd been playing before. We're not going to go with that many defenders. What we are going to do though is a flat back 4. And we're going to go relatively narrow. Conte and Barreca will still play as fullbacks. Chiesa is going to come off. Where are we now? In fact, I'm not sure. Çalhanoğlu there makes sense. Chiesa can't really play there. Can he play better as a striker, I wonder? He actually can play better as a striker. Okay, let's try him as a striker. And we'll bring on Bonaventura for front Kessie. We'll go with Locatelli and Biglia deep line playmakers. Bonaventura, Çalhanoğlu in behind Chiesa and Silva. And we'll just try this because it clearly wasn't working with a regular formation to push forward. We could well get hit down the flanks, but we just need to hope that doesn't happen. And it goes forward to Gama. Gama switching it to the right hand side. Barreca motors and manages to header it away. Barreca and Conte will have to have big games in this second half. Çalhanoğlu's corner in towards Bonucci, who nods it down. There is, in fact, it's away by Goldenegger. Chance for Bonaventura here, edge of the box. Tees up Silva, nice first touch. Sets himself 1-0. And Andre Silva has scored at the start of the second half. Now do we just go back to what we were playing before, I wonder? Move Chiesa, Çalhanoğlu back out, drop Bonaventura back. Make him box to box and just play exactly what we were doing in the first half. I think that is exactly what we are going to do, because there was no problem with the first half other than the fact, of course, that we didn't manage to score a goal. So now that we have the goal, we'll just revert. As Berardi teeing up a free kick for Sassuolo now, he floats it in, just get that away. Easy header away for Conte, picked up by Chiesa. Running down that right flank, come on son. He's kind of went cold a little bit, Chiesa, since a great start to his career, and there's a terrible pass from him to sum that up. Oh, it's a poor back pass, and it's Andre Silva, makes no mistake, hammers it in. 10 minutes into the second half, 2-0. And I think that boot, that boot right up the rear end at half time there has certainly resonated with the boys, and they look to be playing better now. Look at Telly. Oh dear. Manuel Locatelli is off. I'm kind of wondering what to do. Belia can drop, be a deep lying playmaker defending behind. Çalhanoğlu, Bonaventura can play there, sort of. Chiesa can kind of float there. Go more standard now. We obviously aren't going to be controlling the game as much. No overlaps now. Close down a bit less. We're just going to go with that, and hopefully we can see this out. We've got half an hour, a 2-goal lead. As Peluso plays it forward now. Sassuolo are going to have much more of an opportunity now. Berardi inside to Duncan. We just don't want them getting that goal quickly. Berardi, forward it goes again. They're playing really well here. Duncan holds it up. Mazzatelli and Duncan, come on man. Gamma, they're playing really calmly actually. It's out to Peluso. Peluso into Mazzatelli, forward. Oh, he slipped Berardi in. He shoots. It's easy for Donnarumma. Whew, thank God for that. But Sassuolo clearly grown in confidence. Conte now with the throw. If we could get a third, this would be delightful. Absolutely kill the game. Belia holds it up. Back to Conte. Can he get it across? Conte to Chiesa. Loses it. Back to Conte though. Slips it to Chiesa. Belia's in a bit more space. Belia picks it up. Has Çalhanoğlu. Got an overlap here. Barreca, come on, just put it on a plate. Barreca takes a touch at the byline. Whips it to Chiesa. That's not a good ball. Not a good header either. But at least we're still creating stuff. So we're Inter, they're 4-0 up now as we have another throw here. Conte, San Siro so sparsely populated. Juve are 2 up now as Belia finds Chiesa. Bonaventura into Çalhanoğlu. Got a bit of space. Belia now, it's deflected through for Bonaventura and it's 3-0. And even with 10 men, we've pressed forward, shown our class, and that should be that now in terms of the result. We'll bring on Caldara for Romagnoli. Caldara's playing time has been far too restricted for my liking, and Darmian can replace Barreca. Barreca, by the way, a word for Barreca. What a signing he's been from Torino, coming in, stepping up to the higher level, playing at Milan, and he looks a great signing at left back. The big boys all winning today comfortably. 5-0 for Inter, 3-0 for us. Juve at 2-0 currently against Fiorentina. Of course, that'll move us up above Fiorentina, possibly above Roma as well. We might be up to 4th now, I think. As Çalhanoğlu pings one forward, it should just about be time. Berardi gets the header, in and away by Peluso. Waiting for that whistle. Çalhanoğlu plays it for Darmian, and there's the whistle. It's a good clean sheet, nice strong 3-0 at home to Sassuolo. What we needed to bounce back from the disappointment against Juve. Passionately, very pleased. You know, when they're not playing well, I'll hammer them aggressively, but when they play well, they always get a nice passionate well done from us. We're actually still behind Roma. I'm not really entirely sure how that's being sorted, but we are behind Roma. We are ahead of Fiorentina. We're level with Fiorentina Roma and Juventus, 2 behind Napoli, and the 5 behind Lazio. It's racing up, heating up, pardon me, to be a hell of a title race. Locatelli's banned, of course. He will get a warning for getting sent off like that. Sasa Mihailovic was watching one of his loanees, who's obviously playing for Sassuolo. But it's 2 days now before we play Atalanta. The game's coming thick and fast, and as you can see, Dortmund there at the Signal Iduna Park is on the horizon. So we need to be prepared for that, as well as focus on Atalanta here. Conte facing his former club, Andrea Conte. Oh, he just came from Atalanta. Who knew? I just assumed he was an AC Milan youngster who came through, but clearly not. Coming from Atalanta. Hopefully he can go back there and do the damage. Or he's not going back there, but hopefully he can do the damage when they come to visit us. Tottenham, a 0-0 there. That's a game, of course, that's on today in real life. Of course, Boxing Day currently. Hope everybody's had a nice Christmas. My God, there's a lot of football happening today, clearly. Alright, I think that's just about ready now for the game. Fitness tests, Chiesa still capable of playing. Bologna hosting Juve today. Hopefully Bologna can do the damage, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a strong Juve win. Tomorrow, Inter, who seems somewhat revived, go to take on Napoli, and Fiorentina host Lazio. Roma are playing Sampdoria, who have been really weak this season actually. So hopefully we can get some decent results, but obviously focusing on our own game at home to Atalanta. We've had 2 victories and a draw against them so far in our career here, and they are in relatively poor form. Locatelli obviously suspended for this game, and Bonaventura can come into the side for him. No, not for Biglia, for Locatelli. That was a bit daft. There we go. Sane still too injured to take part at all. How long for Sane? 5 to 11 days, so he is on the way back at least. Conte can continue today. Calabria is probably still the better player, but Conte did well against Sassuolo. Barreca, let's have a little look at. By the way, only worth 9.25, but he's got solid stats. 3-star potential ability. 23 years old currently, and if you look here, playing for Cagliari on loan from Torino last season. So he didn't just step up from Torino, he actually stepped up from Cagliari, and he's just looked the business since he's come here. Chelsea still after Silva. There's clearly no taking no for an answer. But the team today to take on Atalanta: Donnarumma, Conte, Bonucci, Romagnoli, Barreca, Bonaventura, Kessie, Biglia, Chiesa, Çalhanoğlu and Silva. Hoping for the performance we got in the second half against... Oh Jesus, look at that formation. The second half against Sassuolo rather than the first half. Yep, 3 centre backs, 4 right across just in behind them, completely vacating that midfield there, with Gomez, Petagna and Orsolini up there. That's what I'm going to go with. Orsolini, 22-year-old Italian on loan from Juve, looks decent. The big man up front looks decent as well, and obviously we all know all about Alejandro Gomez, who's a bit of quality for them. We're favourites for a reason. Let's go give a good performance here. They're not in good form, Atalanta, although they are a decent side, so hopefully we can take advantage of a bit of a lack of confidence. We've bounced back well from that defeat against Juve there, 3-0 over Sassuolo. So hopefully we can keep that going, as Donnarumma's forced into a bit of a hurried clearance, but it is picked up by Chiesa. Has Silva in front of him. He can go into the middle here. Yep, Kessie's got a lot of room. Driving a lot of blue shots. Has a shot well wide in the end. But maybe that kind of drive and run's what we're going to need to unlock this pact, shall we say, centre of defence there. And they're doing pretty well so far, holding up defensively, as it's played into Freuler. Freuler plays it forward. It's well intercepted by Barreca, picked up by Andre Silva now. Kessie charging forward in the middle. Biglia and Bonaventura behind. Biglia does pick it up now, plays it out to the left to Çalhanoğlu. He can ping it into Silva, who's found a rare bit of space, takes it down nicely. Tight angle, but a good finish. And it looks like That little slump he went into after the speculation about a move away, he certainly seems to have got over that now, and that will fire us all the way up to second place. Obviously, other results pending. We're playing just now. Juve have still got a game to play, as do Roma, as do Napoli. As Calabria will come on for Conte, who's picked up a knock. Now, Orsolini plays it over the top. Romagnoli should be able to sweep that one up without too many problems. And forward for Barreca, and we can start from the back. Into Kessie now. Bonaventura. This is the problem for them playing this kind of really defensive, packed tactic. If we get the early goal, then we can just kind of knock it about. Chiesa whips one in. Çalhanoğlu has space. He's headed it off the bar, but it's then found its way into the net. 2-0, 25 minutes gone. And Atalanta's defensive game plan is in tatters. It's just a shame there's like 4 supporters in the stand to see it. I'm hoping when we get a Serie A title under our belt, the stadium starts to pack out a little bit. I'm thinking it's maybe just so sparsely populated because of Milan's recent drought in real life, not being where they once were. As Kessie tracks back to win the ball well there, Calabria picks it up, can just play it really easily forward to Chiesa. Chiesa's out wide, whips one in, Silva challenging, cleared away, penalty given. And Biglia has a chance to make it 3-0 before half time here and make it exactly like the second half against Sassuolo. The 3 goals, the confident performance. And it's Biglia to pretty much tie up the result, and it's in. It's a great penalty, and you can always count on Biglia to score a penalty. That's 7 goals this season for what basically amounts to a defensive midfield player. That's an excellent return. Even though a lot have obviously been from the spot. And we're going into half-time with a comfortable 3-0 victory over a good Atalanta side who are just short on confidence at the moment. Let's see what we do now. I'm going to make some changes perhaps, or one change. Yep, very happy, just calmly, very happy boys. We're going to take Frank Kessie off, and we're going to actually bring on... We bring on Mastur or Moratti, I wonder. Mastur clearly looks a better player, but there's less upside to him. Whereas Moratti doesn't look very good just now. Ugh, do you know what? I'm going to bring on Mastur for Kessie. And he can just be a little advanced playmaker there in behind Silva. See how he gets on. Encourage them for the second half. It should more or less be job done, barring any catastrophes. As Vitor knocks it forward to Orsolini. Coming down that right hand side. The Juve player playing it in behind. It's a great ball and it's a great finish. And that is not how we wanted to start the second half. I can't change my shout. That's really poor defending. A great ball from Orsolini, I suppose, but we completely lost the big man up top. And Atalanta have a way back into this thing. And Orsolini knocks it forward. Bonaventura winning the header away. It's not a penalty, thankfully. I was a bit worried that it would be there. Bonaventura now, just knock it forward. Come on, we've got to get them in the counter here. Chiesa picks it up. Plays it for Silva. No, a great ball, but Silva can slip it to Çalhanoğlu, who's got a bit of space now. He's got Chiesa at the back stick. Tries to find him. Away by Amat. Away by Gomez. Calabria picks it up. They're back in their shape now, Atalanta. Calabria, Biglia, Bonaventura. Mastur. Bonaventura. Mastur again. Slips it to Silva. Not a terrible ball, but Toloi manages to win it. It's forward for the big man. Bonucci commands the situation. Chiesa's not going to win that though. Messina plays it out to Orsolini, who can again play a ball in behind here. I think he does play it in behind. The big man's in again. Petagna, Donnarumma coming out further this time, and it's a good save to maintain that advantage. A corner taken by Gomez. Taken down by Messina in the box. Slips it to Orsolini and it's 3-2. What the fuck is happening here? Right, let's change this a bit. Chiesa's going to drop back. Çalhanoğlu's going to drop back. Biglia can drop back. Mastur can drop back. Bonaventura can go deep lying. And let's just settle this down a wee bit. Control the game. Shorter passing, retain possession, bit narrower, drop a bit deeper, and let's just be a bit more chill about this here, because this is shocking. 3-0 half time, 3-2, 49 minutes. We cannot collapse. Told them to tighten up, obviously, which is exactly what they're doing. Bonucci and Romagnoli, Barreca and Calabria actually all have to take a long, hard look at themselves. We're now about the hour mark. Orsolini, of course, has been at the heart of this comeback from Atalanta. Romagnoli now, come on, we really need a fourth goal. Romagnoli into Mastur now. Bonaventura into Andre Silva, who's holding her up. He will have Chiesa on the right, you would think. Chiesa not as far forward now. Picks her up, switches her across to Mastur. Chiesa's going again on the right. It's to Calabria from Mastur. Calabria returns it to him. Mastur doesn't have too many options. Dribbles forward, not a good ball. Bilia rescues him, thankfully. Bilia out to Calabria, who can play it to Chiesa. He doesn't know, he takes his time, crosses. Andre Silva's in there, he's hit the woodwork, and then hit the bar, and then Chiesa. Thank God for that, man. Federico Chiesa scores the goal, 4-2, and hopefully now that's us staved off that threat of a comeback. I'll tell you, I was worried really bigly. I was worried bigly when they scored that second goal. Danger not over, of course. Gomez into Freuler now. Atalanta trying to press forward to make it a one-goal game again. De Roon's ball cut out. Barreca just boots it up the park. That's exactly what you need to do when you're under pressure. Berisha heads it right to Silva. Lob him, Silva. Oh, it's terrible from Andre Silva. He's got to do better from there. 17-5 shot count. We've definitely bossed the game. It's just they had a really strong period, of course, where it looked like they could get back into it. We'll bring Caldara on now for Bonucci, I suppose. And we're into the last 10 now, and we should have the 3 points. But Juve, of course, will like what they've seen from Orsolini today. Here he is taking the throw in. Petagna back to Orsolini. Petagna's looked a good player as well up front. De Roon. Orsolini puts her in deep away by Calabria and picked up by Chiesa. 10 seconds to go, and it should be the second win of the episode. 2 wins in a row now after our loss against Juve, picked up by Jordi Amat, who goes back the way to Berisha, plays it out to Vitor. Couple of seconds left, into Freuler. He moves it to De Roon, and it is a 4-2 victory at San Siro for Milan. You know, it's a different kind of... I don't know what you would call it. I don't know if you would quite call it pleasure, but you would call it... It's a different type of satisfaction, I suppose, would be the word for it, that I'm feeling after that game, because you want to go in 3-0, you want to come out, just boss the game, ping it around, maybe go to 4-0 or something, but to let them get the 2 goals back quickly like that, to ride that out, to get the 4th goal and just see it out comfortably, I'm satisfied the way the team rallied and they didn't crumble, because it would have been easy to crumble after those 2 early goals. But Bologna hosting Juve now. Can they do anything? Probably not. 3-1 Bologna. Well, there you go. We're 3 points ahead of Juventus now. And Juventus just don't seem to be able to get motoring. You know, they beat us, they beat Fiorentina, they've done the hard part, and they go and lose to Bologna. I'm not complaining about it, but it's just interesting to see. Now let's see if our other rivals can get some poor results, hopefully, on the board. Roma Sampdoria, I would imagine Roma will be winning that at home fairly comfortably. And the others don't play till a little bit later on this evening. So let's see how Roma get on. 2-1 Sampdoria. Okay, Fiorentina Lazio now. Let's see how that goes. And obviously Napoli Inter. I'd probably like Fiorentina to beat Lazio, actually. Catroni playing poorly, sadly, in his game. Fiorentina beat Lazio. Now, I'd want Inter to beat Napoli, of course, cheering on our rivals. And Inter beat Napoli. My God. Talk about perfection. Talk about the perfect day. Every result went the way we wanted it to go. We're now 2 points off the top. We're 3 clear of Roma. We're 3 clear of Juventus. We're 1 clear of Napoli. It's looking good. I have to say, it's looking good for a potential title win. But that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I certainly have. It's bouncing back well after that poor one last time out. Everything really going our way today as well. Absolutely chuffed, and we look like we really could be pushing for that title. as we head further into the season. If we look at the fixtures we have, we've got Napoli away, Fiorentina away, we're hosting Roma. Everything else, oh well, we have Lazio away as well. But we've got a couple of tricky ones, let's be honest. But we've got a lot of more straightforward fixtures as well. At home to Novara, we're away at Spezia. We host Benevento. We host Torino. We host Chievo and Bologna. So that's very, very winnable games to come. You know, as I say, we've played Juve twice already. But anyway, as I say, hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you have, please drop down below and leave a like on the video. It really does help the channel. And of course, if you want to follow the series, which hopefully will contain a Serie A win this season, that's it. I'm nailing my colours to the mast right now. We're going for the title. I'm hoping to win it. We're going to win it. Anything less now will be a disappointment with the way we've rallied after our poor start. If you do want to follow it, of course, you can subscribe to the channel, which I'd be really grateful for. But overall, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time when we've got two away, an away and a sort of pseudo-away fixture. We're away in Germany at the Signal Iduna Park against Dortmund in the Champions League last 16. Been far too long since Milan have been there, so hopefully we can get a good result in Germany. And then we're quote-unquote away at the Giuseppe Meazza / San Siro when we face Inter, obviously who are coming off the back of a good result against Napoli. So I hope to see you for that one, and yeah, thank you for watching.